Hey friends, I'm just gonna say hello right quick since I can just say hello and don't have to make a full-length video. I wanted to say that I will be looking for further contest entries through the day. Today, Monday, and then tomorrow I'll do the drawing. Put the names on pieces of paper, cut them up, and then draw. But I'm glad that I made yesterday's video because it has prompted, maybe it hasn't prompted, but I think it has prompted people to go ahead and respond. Psychology is interesting, people. I think I understand human behavior to a degree, and so I did what I needed to do. And I really am enjoying people's responses, being told about artists I'd never heard about. Wonderful to hear from the fella in Brittany. The other person who showed this, I just had to pull it and show that this is probably my third or fourth copy. I bought it before it was used in The Exorcist because I was all about Virgin Records. I found out about them through the English music press when Branton first started the label. So I was extremely interested in everything they did. So I have Tubular Bells. I used to have an original on, the black and white Virgin label, but this is very likely my third or fourth copy. And I'll tell you what, I first heard this before it was used in The Exorcist. So when I saw The Exorcist, and I was young at the time, this is what, 1973, so I was 16, 17 years old. I had read the book The Exorcist. Did I read it before or after? Anyway, the movie really was very disturbing, and so I was upset that they used this music for the movie. I thought they messed up, for me, my image of the music. Of course, as time goes on, when you're young and everything means way too much, it passed. But yeah, I still have Tubular Bells in my collection. I hardly ever play it. I have other Mike Oldfield albums in the collection, mainly because one of the ways that I have been able to amass this amount, even though I've sold almost as many records, is by finding records as cheaply as possible. I have never had a lot of income to dispose of, so records have always been, however I could acquire them, cheaply, free, maybe folks give them to me, And so I have other Mike Oldfield albums in the collection. I don't listen to them, but I was able to acquire them cheaply. But I keep them because they're, I keep them. It's like one day I may play it and say, oh, yeah, this is why I kept it. And which is why I have kept much of what I have that I don't play often. Because when I do, it's nice. You find things that you're glad you kept. Let me see if I can. Oh, here's one. So, years ago, I took a chance on this metal album by the band, is it Floor? And the album is called Dove. This is on gray vinyl. And I'm glad I kept this. It's slightly, the production is, you can tell they didn't have money, and so it's not really that well produced. But the music is great, and it's that sludge thing, and it's like, man, this is really good. So I'm really glad I kept this. It's an example of. Here's another one that I've always wanted this album. Actually, I wish that I could have the British cover, which is even weirder than this. But Hard Stuff Bolex Dementia. This cover is strange, not really all that appealing, but because of the strangeness of it, it's always appealed to me, and I always wanted it. So, I don't know when I found this, but I found it, I think, less than $30. When I bought it at the time, I didn't enjoy it, but I played it this weekend and really got into it. So, you never know. And this band is of interest because the members, John Gustafson, he was in Quatermass. He also played bass in Roxy Music. John Kahn was in Atomic Rooster. I think John Gustafson was also in Andromeda. And Paul Hammond, he's been in a few different bands. I forget who all he's been in. Good musicians. Here's another one that has aged, but from the 80s, but I played it and it's like, boy, I still really like this. 12-inch single by a guy named David Harrow, Our Little Girl. Don't really know much about him. I think his name came to my attention through a reference to Cabaret Voltaire. He was never a member, but I think he's worked with them. This is slightly harshly electronic, but the B-side in particular, Reflections, is excellent. So I'm glad I kept that. And then just some other stuff sitting out here. That yesterday was Sunday, and one of my all-time favorite albums of all time. Just beautiful. Just touches my heart. Ralph Towner with Glenn Moore. Trios and solos. An early ECM recording. This has two of my favorite songs of all time. Ravenswood and Reach Me Friend. The two ending tracks on side 2. They're just special. They just capture a moment and a feeling. It's just freaking fantastic. I also played this yesterday because of Dave Wayne, a drummer who's also a BC member, had posted a link to an interview with Manfred Eicher of ECM, which I read. And it caused me to pull out this album that Eicher spoke about lovingly, Belonging, by Jan Garbarek, Keith Jarrett, Pal Danielson, and John Christensen. He explained that this was his first pairing of these musicians together, feeling instinctually that they would work together. He was right, and this is probably the strongest thing that those musicians have ever done together. This album is brilliant. Belonging. Truly brilliant. And then, I was playing this weekend. I Had Too Much to Dream and Get Me to the World on Time. This stuff from my childhood, the Electric Prunes, psych rock. It's just important to me. More than nostalgia, this music still sounds great to me. Something else I played this weekend. I'm not sure where this band is from, but there's a simplicity to the music that I love, and I think it's gorgeous. The Ocean Blue, Ultramarine. This came out in 2013. American band that have a bit of a British sensibility to their sound. This almost, some people would probably call this dream pop. I guess you could call it dream pop. It's just good, melodic, beautiful. Here's some records for you. I want to thank people again for your kind words and your reassurance, because we all need it. I am a sensitive, nerdy, neurotic kind of person who tends to think about things a lot, and I try to treat people decently, so when things happen that are adverse, the first thing I want to check is what is this about, why is it happening, and did I cause it? And I'm just really happy to say that the world is crazy, and we are not always responsible for the madness, and so it helps me to stay balanced by being willing to look at things honestly. For those of you folks that checked in and heard me talking about my controversy, which hopefully is over, and you don't know what it is, that's good. Let's just say that these fools try to go public, trying to start a campaign to discredit me, basically, calling me a liar. I'm glad that you folks didn't know, and I've just blocked the shit. They actually made channels trying to discredit me. I blocked that shit. Once again, very justifiably, I'll say, those people, I pray for people like that, I'm not hating on them. I'm praying that they can find some light inside so they can feel better about themselves. Okay, that's enough for today. If you're still interested in entering the contest, I'll be drawing tomorrow.